Starting on kind of taking some rust off of the pieces of this block plane that I didn't break yesterday. We're going to start with taking some rust off the pieces, and I can kind of shine them up a little bit more with sandpaper. I have many of the pieces cleaned off here quite a bit. What I need is to get just a little bit of evapor rust. Using vinegar takes a long time, and it's a little bit rougher because it's an acid. Evapor rust is much faster and it's gentler, and I can't get all the crevices where some of the rust is at, so it's nice to have evapor rust. Everything's much more cleaned off and looks a little bit better, but just I need a little bit of help getting those nooks and crannies before I get everything trimmed out and put everything back together. Now I'm taking some of my big wrenches that I've been soaking in WD-40, wiping them down a little bit, getting them cleaned off. This is a really big wrench. This is the 44A Williams wrench, and it was 1 7/8 inches on one end, I think 11/16 on the other end. Pretty big wrench. We could probably shine it up a little bit too, but for right now I'm going to hang it up over there with the other wrenches and clean them all off here, so I can make room to work on some more stuff. I had several of these antique drill bits, the ones that have the little ends like this. One of them says for a raw drill, which I don't even know what that is. There's a giant honker right there, which is just big, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Some old pliers and some more antique drill bits. I just hit them with some WD-40. Guys, WD-40 is my best friend. It does a lot of things. It helps remove the rust. It lubricates. It does a lot of great things, and when I just leave it here, it helps me clean it. So if I'm not in here, I'm doing something else, which is what I'm about to do. This will help clean it while I'm gone. Self-cleaning. Look, man, these screws down here look awful silver, and I don't remember them being silver, but they've been sitting in WD-40 for a while. So therefore, WD-40 is great. So I put my rags in this little wash bin here, and I have some dish soap in there, let them soak in that. Even gonna put them to the agitate cycle. Here goes the agitate cycle. It's not very powerful. All right, I'm tired of doing that already. I'm just gonna let them sit in here for a while, and hopefully they'll be not clean. The goal we have to have a manageable goal. Our goal is cleaner. Look, the water is already brown. So that brownness that's in the water is no longer on the rags. Therefore, they are cleaner. Guys, now I'm bobbing for apples here inside of my vinegar pit, trying to find anything that's interesting, so I can rinse it off and make sure I put some WD-40 on that for sure. Because since this has been eaten up with an acid, what's going to happen is it's going to be rusting quickly. This looks pretty much like the worst thing anyone could ever imagine. I think that's enough for right now. I don't think I have the full old wrench that I was looking for though. But let's wash this crap off and make it look a lot better than it does right now. Let's stay a safe distance here. Oh, it's so nasty down there. Here's our different wrenches and stuff. They look a lot better than before. It's all relative, but there's some cool stuff. Like there is a clamp down here that is Pony brand, but it's an old Pony clamp. And there's another K&D wrench. They were kind of nice. Just some old style sockets, and then we have this one right here. It's pretty cool. It slides up and down like this to position itself. And there was one, the socket itself. Let me see where I put it. Right here. It's actually a brand called Mustang, made in the USA. That was pretty cool. So I don't know much about them, so another chance to learn. I'm trying to get these wrenches cleaned up a little bit more. It's tough to do because there's a lot of pitting in there, you can see. So I'm taking some coarse sandpaper, then I'm going to thin it out and get lighter and lighter as I go on and on. I went over this wrench with all the way up to 2000 grit sandpaper, and of course it's pitted, and there's some black, I guess black paint in those pits. What's funny is that even with it being so pitted and only part of the black paint showing back through, I think it's really nice looking actually. It's just kind of a really cool wrench. Looks totally different than it did before. We keep on going and restore. What do you guys think of this? Is it worth keeping on with this thing? It's not going to bring all that much money. Or should I never have touched it and left that patina on it like this wrench over here? The Bonnie wrench, or Bonnie wrench, should I say, the Bonnie wrench with its patina almost looks more attractive anyway. So what do you guys think? Which one is actually desirable to you? What are the odds someone's going to get one of these and wants it in perfect condition so they can take it to work? Seems like just cleaned up, getting the rust off and putting some oil on it makes it look pretty good too. So I'd be curious to know y'all's thoughts. I'm up here sweating up a storm. It's supposed to be winter. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be winter. This might be our final activity for today. My wife's computer stand is busted. It's just a cheap little computer stand. A laptop sits down in there like that. Nothing major, but she loves this thing. So we're going to glue it back together and see how that works. Although to reproduce this thing would be pretty easy with our piece of plywood outside, because basically we just lay this down as a template and just make her one real quick. So if it doesn't last too much longer, I can always do that. But we'll glue it up first and leave it. And hopefully it'll be just fine for a little while at least. So this bad boy is made out of 100% wood-like products. That just looks like the dumbest looking thing I've ever seen in my life. Hopefully that works just fine. Otherwise, I just make one out of plywood. Be 15 times stronger than this anyway. And just before our day is done here, some of the stuff I was working on earlier, cleaning up, and some of my pliers from the other day. These are cool. Royal Japan needle nose pliers. Pretty neat. They have little grippy handles. I was going to put them in Plastidip and make some handles for them. Depends on if they're actually worth anything. Some flat needle nose. I haven't seen any of those in a while. And this one is, I think, Utica, New York, maybe? Let's see. It says Utica, New York, USA, I believe. So cool. I love USA. I love Japan, too, because Japan usually has some pretty good stuff. These vice grips are kind of trashed out. All that top layer, that protective layer, is gone off of these. So, I mean, I'm sure they'd still be okay for around the shop. Of course, I won't be doing anything selling those or anything like that, but vice grips come in handy, and I don't mind taking some shady vice grips and using them here. Here's some of our other stuff. We got a couple pairs of shears here, and as you can see, I mean, they were rusted up pretty bad because you can see where it's all pitted. This old wrench, talk about sweet. I look forward to putting this one back together. That looks pretty cool. I just got to make sure they're protected. Got to clean a little bit better up in there. That's where the evapor rust comes in handy. It'll get up in every cranny. KD wrench, another KD wrench, pretty cool. 22 millimeter USA. USA. And, you know, just some randoms. I like this. Because this was, let me see here. Mustang. Made in the USA. I gotta look that up. And it was on this big wrench up here. I took it off and put another extended socket on there. And the extension here, this extension, which I didn't see anything written on it once I got done, you can see Craftsman, and really old Craftsman. It looks like a 38 maybe. 38, I'm not quite sure. But there it is, nice extension. And there's of course the wrench and the other wrenches over there, and just a slew of other tools that you guys can purchase anytime you want. You really can. I link my stuff in the description for, these are all good tool deals. I don't put any crap up there. It's stuff that I think, you know, I make a little bit of money when I sell it, and you guys save a little bit of money. If you had to buy it in a store, it'd be a lot more money. So there we go. I'm out of here. Enough projects for one day. See you guys on the next one. God bless you.